Hello everyone, this is our ninth exercise. The aim of our exercise is to find the optimal number of clusters for k-means algorithm for the given dataset. So what is clustering? Clustering means to group similar objects into one kind from the other dissimilar objects. It is used to extract information from the unlabeled data. For example, to extract the information about customers who have similar buying or purchasing behavior. That is one of the example. And to proceed with, we use our Ripley set in the samples data, and in order to perform the clustering we use the k-means operator. There is a clustering operator. We do the needed connections. This was the data set which I used over here. That is, we had row number, label, attribute. There are two attributes, attribute 1 and attribute 2. Further moving to the design, we make the needed connections. We run it. After we run it, we get the output. This is our output, and we see that in addition to the original example set, we have cluster as well as ID added to this. ID, it is used actually to uniquely identify each and every row, and we have two clusters over here, cluster 0, cluster 1, and further this is a cluster model. That is, there are two clusters, cluster 0 as well as cluster 1. Cluster 0 has 131 elements and cluster 1 has 119 elements. The total number of elements is 250. So after applying the cluster, the whole dataset is converted into two clusters, that is 0 and 1. Now moving on to check the performance level of this clustering, we use two operators. First is the data to similarity operator, which is used to measure the similarities, and next operator to be used is cluster density operator. This operator is used to measure the performance of the model, and the output from the data similarity is given to this performance operator, and one output from this clustering, the output of the clustering, is also given to the performance operator. We do the needed connections to get the output, and finally if we run it, here we go. We have a performance vector. This is a performance vector. The cluster density performance is mainly used to derive this performance vector, which helps us to know the performance level of the model which we have derived after clustering. So the average within cluster distance is -52.325. Average within cluster distance for cluster 0 is -49.245, and average within cluster distance for cluster 1 is -55.705. So that was the result we got after doing the necessary connections. Here in data to similarity, we have measure types: mixed measures, nominal, numerical, Bregman, and in clustering we have a value called k. This k value determines the number of clusters we want to derive. For example, here the value of k has been given as 2. It means that I want 2 clusters, and so is the result in the output, cluster 0 and cluster 1, because we have given the value of k here as 2. So the number of clusters derived was 2. Generally the k value is small integers like 2, 3, 4, 5. It may even be larger in some cases. And further moving, we have other parameters as well, measure types, etc. And so this was our 9th experiment. So what we did here was to find the optimal number of cluster for k-means algorithm. For the given set, we use the Ripley set over here. We first use the clustering operator in order to cluster the data sets, and the k value used was 2. So we got two clusters, cluster 0 and cluster 1. Here we have data to similarity, that is used to measure the similarity of the data, and here we have performance operator, which is used to detect the performance level of the model. So this was our 9th experiment. I hope this video was useful to you. Thank you.